Welcome back to another episode of Going For It, the triumvirate of tyranny. The trio of stuff is back. We are all back with the three of us. You will notice one, Sourpuss, grinning ear to ear.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Cheshire Cat.
Ready
He
to
likes when people lose their jobs. He likes it.
celebrating all day in the Steel City.
He
When families get hurt.
He
likes it.
Pro firing.
Your
is a
pain
beautiful day.
strengthens him. If you are hurting, Mike gains power from you.
Yes.
So I'm going to just start where we need to be starting. And that is the Pittsburgh Steelers have removed offensive coordinator Matt Canada from the equation.
Historic.
It is a monumental day for all Steelers fans. Mike, how does it feel? Just walk me through your feelings.
I feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel like everything makes sense again because it was so painful to have to watch these Steelers games for the last 2.5 years, knowing that the offense was going to just be pathetic. Week in and week out, it was going to be pathetic. And you know how bad it was when they have like a game where they rush for 150 yards and they score 2 touchdowns and people are like, they're back, baby. This offense is rolling. And their passing game is still just horrendous.
87 yards before the fourth quarter or something like that.
It's so bad.
Quality.
The stats are just, they speak for themselves. They're stunning. They're all over the internet. I was driving home from North Carolina, stopped off to get a coffee, and I see a text message from one Patrick who says that Matt Canada has been fired. And I immediately told my wife, you're driving this next leg so I could do whatever the opposite of doom scrolling is. That's what I was doing for the next 4 hours.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It was great.
I'm so happy that I got to break the news for you because
That's
I
nice.
saw the Schefter's tweet come in and it was like 4 minutes ago. And I was like, I need to fucking text Mike. Like Mike needs to know about this now.
I did need to know about it now.
I was like, this is going to make this the best day since his child was born. Like that is the level.
No,
Just
what
threw his
made it-
wife under the bus.
No, and then you also did another solid because at first I was like, if you don't want to celebrate somebody losing their job, it's exciting for the
You do.
franchise. You didn't want to celebrate somebody losing their job, especially
But I have
going
to. But I
into
need
the holidays. No, and then Pat's like, hey, he's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid. Yeah,
And
this
so
is
at
not
that point, it's
about.
like,
contract.
He got
He's
paid.
not losing money.
There was 0% chance he was going to have his contract re-upped at the end of the year.
That's correct.
So he
got a
basically
big
is
vacation.
getting
So much better for the team that this happened.
Yeah.
You were losing some guys. You were losing some buy-in.
Pickens.
Oh, yeah.
Pickens was out.
So was Naj. You
Yes,
heard his
Naj, Deontay Johnson and a coach that I haven't heard named got into an altercation to
Yeah.
where linemen had to pick DJ up and walk him away from the coach. And him and Tomlin had to have a conversation. All happened on the sideline.
It's going to get better, I think, as long as he chooses a not Matt Canada person.
Right. The question is going to be, it's not going to be a drastic improvement right away,
No.
but
Could be.
it could be if they
It could
score
be more
20
efficient.
points,
It could
it'll
be more
so
efficient
much better.
right away. You could get more diverse, like effective play calling. That's the
Right. I was
thing
about to say, you
Canada
can't change the offense. You can't
Right.
install a new offense, but you could call better plays. Like that could
or
absolutely
set
change
things up better.
the simple fact is, like, they were very one-dimensional, doing a lot of those sweeps, doing a lot of those same screens, and everyone, not
Draws.
just fans at home, like all the defenses knew what was coming. So it was like, yeah, okay, you'll get a few yards. You ain't scoring no points here.
And I think it was infuriating to have the Steelers insiders be like, they're not going to fire an offensive coordinator during the season. There's not enough time for it to have an impact. Even if you do it over the bye week, there's just not enough time in the schedule for a new person to come in and have an impact. And then the Bills fire their coordinator on a Tuesday, and come out and have the best offensive performance it feels like they've had in
That's
a long
right.
time
That's right.
on a Sunday 5 days later. And it's like, can we not do this?
Those
Can we?
insiders were wrong. They were wrong. And just because the team hadn't done it for 100 years or whatever doesn't mean anything. I get it. I get it.
1942 or
But they
46
just
or something
every
like that was
circumstance
the last time the
is
Steelers
different.
fired one.
Right, but like people saying that over the years, I don't know that, Mike, you would know better from being a fan. I don't know that the offense was ever this bad with this many pieces that could
No.
have been good. So
No.
like I remember I'm not a fan of the franchise the way you are. I'm that tangential friend of a person who's a friend of a few people that are fans, but I've heard of whether it was Tommy Maddox and Tom Zach and Cordell Stewart. Of course, you had offenses that were moving the ball even with not great people all through the years, and then you got graced with Ben, who was like a very good quarterback. So then the expectation was set at a new, well, let's call it what it is, a Hall of Fame level. He's going to get in the Hall if he isn't already, right? I don't.
He'll be
He's not in yet,
a
but he'll
first
be a
ballot.
He'll be a first ballot. So the Canada it's clear that his scheme or lack thereof was absolutely keeping the team down. But the funniest part is they're fucking 6-4. They're actually in the mix with terrible performances out of all the offensive players. These players aren't bad though. They're not bad.
Well,
we know
and
that.
I'll say
Jalen Warren.
Well, I was just gonna say last week it looked like Canada or whoever was calling the plays kind of figured it out, and if they're smart, they'll do some of the same things. They were giving the ball to both very effective running backs at the correct times, and they were able to move the ball down the field. What that's going to be able to do is that's going to be able to set you guys up for play action. It's going to set you up for screens. It's going to set you up for dump offs, but it's also going to set you up for tight ends down the middle of the field. Fryermuth's back. It's going to set you
is he
up
back?
for.
Is he back? Shit.
He was back last week. Not
He was
that you
back
would know
last
it.
week, but he didn't.
No.
I think he caught one ball or had like one target, but he's back, and that's a game changer for you guys. It's going to alleviate pressure on that offensive line. If whoever's calling the plays this week is smart, they will continue to hand the ball off 30 times because you have two backs that can carry the, Najee can get 14, 16 carries, and you can do 14, 16 carries to Warren too, and Warren in the pass
You should
game.
be the OC, Pat. You're right. It means Kenny only has to throw 20, 25 times, and that could work. That could work really well.
You're then getting him behind better protection. You're able to layer the defense better. He's able to see more things. They have to stack the box out of respect. So it's just, if they follow this thread and do old timey Steelers football, this is the only on offense that works for a good a very good defensive team. You guys just so happen to be a damn good defensive team. Yep. So you want to control the ball, you want to control the clock, and you do both of that with your run game. You set up your pass with your run and let your defense do its fucking thing. Like it seems very simple, which is part of I understand the frustration with.
Don't fuck it up, new guy.
Yeah, don't fuck it up. It's really, really easy.
He can't do any worse. The offense cannot get worse than what it's been.
I've not called any football plays outside of Madden, so do better than me. Like that's
enough.
That's the barometer.
That's enough. In 20 years, kids from Madden are going to be like the virtual OCs of teams. That's what's going to happen.
It's very possible.
I kind of glazed over when you said that they were using Warren and Harris correctly in that game, because after Warren's 74-yard touchdown run, okay, they had 7 offensive drives.
Right.
One of them was the no time left on the clock. So let's say six offensive drives. 5 plays went to Jalen Warren. 5 plays went to Jalen Warren. He was the only one. They were not feeding him
the way they should.
Who was actually getting yards and getting space and looking good against that Browns defense. Najee Harris, they would hand it off to him with 12 in the box. Somehow Browns got 12 people in the box. They would see Najee Harris go in the backfield. They would just get an extra man on the field, load up the box, and the Steelers would run right into it. So
I heard a funny thing about Naj, but maybe it's not that funny, but I'm getting a little buzzed. But like that he's been all season, he looks like he's been playing in jeans. That just tickled me. Because it made me think of like playing sports in jeans.
So
that's a very 80s thing to do.
That's
right.
So I watched the Steelers game transiently. I don't remember what word I was even going to use. I was
Astral
watching it via
projection.
Red Zone. So they were only showing the chunk plays from Jalen, which is why I made my
Fair.
statement. So I will retract and
Mike,
say they should have done
you
that better.
verbally undressed you about your misstatement. He
okay
said,
with
"You
it?
know what? Fuck this. I'm
I-
gonna Google it." He had to research it. That's what just
did.
happened, by the way.
It's okay.
I
He
did.
knew you said something he didn't like, but he couldn't put his
It's like,
finger on why it was wrong.
Why don't I like this? I don't
Well,
like
no,
what you
because
just said.
I knew that he only touched it 5 times afterwards, and I'm like, but that's such a stupid stat. It can't be right.
I've
I
only
have to go and
seen
confirm
his
this.
numbers because I have him on a fantasy team and foolishly have not been starting him until this coming week, which is why he's not going to do well. We know that. We know
that's correct.
that because that
I'm also
happened.
starting him in a fantasy.
But he's been getting points. He's been the best bright spot of that offense lately. So I wonder what you need to get Pickens more involved. You need to get Deontay Johnson more involved. So it could mean that there is less for Warren, which is fine for whatever. But I think the team for fantasy, I think the team will benefit from that. You get those guys going, it makes everything run. This is the same of what's going on in the Bills too. They weren't using Diggs right. They weren't using Cook right. It was very obvious. Like, look at what happened when Antonio Pierce becomes the interim coach over in Vegas. All of a sudden, they force the fucking ball to Devontae, and it actually works because you do need to get these top talents involved, or the defense has no reason to respect it. They think, oh, they'll never go there, and you lose that whole stretch of the field. These are the guys that could take the top off. So I'm excited because there's also the AFC North is like uber competitive. Minus now, we don't know if the Bengals can stay up there with a not Joe Burrow. I don't think so because they were the one that didn't have an elite defense. Right. They were the one that didn't have that side of it where it was like, oh, Burrow will get them there, and now there's no Burrow.
No Burrow.
So it's not. It's. I don't think all 4 will make it anymore, but it seems reasonable the 3 could.
Yeah. So, I will say Jaylen Warren is efficient. Yeah. They are not feeding him. He's got, I was looking at the stats just to confirm it. He's got the same yardage as Najee. He's got 6 yards less than Najee on the season, but 48 less carries.
Right. Exactly. His yards per carry should be much better than Najee. Najee's like 3 something.
It's 3.9 for Najee and 6.2 for
Jaylen. 6.2, you'll take that.
I will say, let me twist my statement and say you should be handing the ball off 30, 35 times a game to be able to set up this passing offense.
That's right.
Which is still, Kenny dropping back and throwing the ball 20, 25, maybe 30 times, but that's not great. Like 20, 25 times.
Hopefully not 30.
Is a good thing for you guys because that's still plenty of snaps to get the ball around the yard and hit everyone and keep everybody happy.
I will say, if you had told me before the game against Cleveland that their rookie, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, whatever his name is, if you had told me he was going to throw it 43 times in the game, I would have said the Steelers were going to win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I also would have said that.
I don't understand what the hell the Browns coaches were considering coming out there and throwing that many times and not running Ford and Hunt.
I also want them to run Hunt, but that is, again, a fantasy bias, not a reality thing. I've watched very little Browns this year.
As you should.
Well, so we are going to end our Steel Curtain segment.
Ooh, Steel Curtain segment.
For now. We'll get there when we have to do predictions and whatnot for this week. So we will also do the thing that Craig Brooks hates the most and give props to the OG Sourpuss for taking the victory in the pick'em yet again, back-to-back weeks.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
10 correct
But I took your money in FanDuel.
I didn't play FanDuel, sir.
I took your money earlier this season.
You did
3 times.
Thrice. I finished second with 9 correct, Mike Spillane with 8, and then Gambling Craig Brooks with a 7 spot. We are going to do our pick'em now. We're going to kind of walk you guys through this.
I've not done mine yet.
We have Thursday night games. We have a Thursday afternoon night games. We have a Friday afternoon, mid-afternoon games. We have Sunday, Monday.
Very exciting.
A lot of NFL football coming up here, and we are going to start first with the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. I'm going Detroit here. This does not feel particularly close. Green Bay looks inept nicely.
Whoa. They had a good week just then. They
had a good
week
week
just
against
then.
the Chargers. And we'll
What
talk
are you
about the
trying to
Chargers.
say?
I'm saying the Chargers are horseshit.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
some statistics
I bet you do.
to talk about when we get to the Chargers and DOA, and that stands for Dead on Arrival for those of you that are not so inclined. Coaching candidate Brandon Staley, he is going to be fired. There's not.
Yeah,
a
he's
doubt in
lame
my
duck.
mind.
He's lame ducking right
He's
now,
full
for
lame
sure.
duck.
For
Full
sure.
lame duck. Anyway, I'm taking the Lions here with the majority of people on the Yahoo app. Mike Thomas, who you taking?
I like how the schedule gods they've been giving us 3 Thursday games for Thanksgiving, and now we have a Friday game. All of that's wonderful. I love football being on, and I love that the only competitive game is going to be the 12:31 when I can actually watch the game a little bit while cooking dinner, because I won't be able to watch much of the Dallas game or the night game. So I love that the more competitive one's going to be at 12:30. I'm going to take Detroit. They should win by a touchdown, maybe even 2 possessions, but it's going to be a nail biter again because that's all they know how to do.
They are good at that. Craig Brooks.
Yeah, I actually think I think Detroit will win by a bunch. Right? I think Green Bay just will flame out. Right? They had a good moment, good-ish moment, and I think they're going to flame out. They lost Aaron Jones in that game, and he was. I don't actually know what his stat line was before he left, but I know he is meaningful to the team regardless from an energy and output perspective. AJ Dillon has looked crop every time I've seen anything going on for Green Bay. So yeah, it's Detroit for me, and I think that they're the fun one to follow this year. They're one of the fun ones. It's like I have no reason to root against them. Obviously, if it's up them versus Miami at any point, I want Miami to win. But like, I don't. If they end up representing the NFC, I think that could be a really fun storyline for the Super Bowl.
I think Dan Campbell will cry a whole bunch. I think
and you know what?
very
When a guy like that
masculine
cries, we're all like, maybe we should cry more.
Yeah,
maybe Dan is inspiring us.
I was at a bar watching the Steelers game, and of course the Detroit game was on another TV, and there were Bears fans that were very loudly cheering all the interceptions and all the bad plays that Detroit was doing, and then got very quiet as Detroit just suddenly was like, all right, let's stop.
Goff showed some shit. He showed some shit. He's back into form of like, I can be a Super Bowl quarterback, which he did go to a Super Bowl. Like he did do that.
He did lose.
He got spanked in that Super Bowl, but
that's true.
He's playing these last couple of weeks like somebody talented enough to go lose a Super Bowl. That's where he's playing.
Hey, some of these dudes just getting to one is a big deal. So
that's why that was not a knock. He's playing very well. He could get to a Super Bowl and lose it.
So moving on, Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys. This feels like a steamroll for Dallas. I would even probably take Dallas in points because this just looks like it's going to be a slaughter, especially after the Commanders couldn't beat third string quarterback Tommy DeVito, touchdown Tommy, and the New York Football Giants last week. It was not. I want a high pick. It was counterproductive. I do appreciate a win. It was good for the locker room, but not as nice as I would have liked a very close, hard-fought loss to be.
You should always, as a fan, want fucking victories, man.
You
should not be taking this bullshit.
I would have preferred a loss.
I want Caleb Williams or whatever. We don't even know what that dude's about. You should always want the wins.
We are so bad. We are so bad at evaluating quarterback talent that we have to. Nobody should ever tank for anybody.
I agree. Oh shit!
Tom. I'm taking Dallas in this game by like 47 touchdowns or something.
Come on.
This doesn't even
the defense.
Feel like
you heard that one dude. He has 4 pick sixes so far on the season. He's a corner or safety over there. Brand.
He's a corner.
Phenomenal. He gets one more. It's also he's got a shitload of games left. He gets one more. He's got the forever record. He's tied right now with 2 other people, I guess.
And that is a
cool
really
thing.
hard record to beat.
Oh yeah.
At some point they stop throwing your way.
Right.
But Washington
because you don't want to be the one.
Enough.
Sam Howell gives no fucks. He will throw. I like that about the dude. He's got the Steph Curry in him. I'm like, I will keep shooting. I will keep shooting. I will keep shooting. Brett Favre. He's got that.
Yeah, he's got that Favre energy for sure. Hopefully without the scandals, but whatever.
Right.
What? Never
Oh,
mind.
Mike, are you also taking Dallas? Is that?
Oh,
gonna
for
go,
sure.
You're gonna
Yeah.
go commies?
The question
No.
is, it looks like they're 11-point favorites according to Yahoo, and I think I still take the
I
points.
still take
Yeah.
Dallas.
They should win by a lot. They've beaten
Yeah.
a few people this season by a lot. A couple closies, but they're the kind of team. Not every team can pitch a really strong blowout, but they're one of them.
Oh yeah. San Francisco, Seattle. San Fran here. Everybody's still relatively healthy. Again, doesn't feel like one that needs a whole lot of discussion.
If Debo and I think it's Trent Williams, the left guard, left tackle, something.
Left tackle. Yeah.
If they're healthy, the team is much better. So the protection plus that fourth option, he's really their 1/2, right?
Yeah.
But it's that for some reason when he's not out there, and now CMC, Ayuk, Kittle, there's like a mishmash. We don't have a who's supposed to. They really flounder.
It's weird. Purdy loses Debo and Trent for a couple weeks and looks worse than like a lot of other quarterbacks. But as soon as Debo comes back, he's like.
That's why Debo got that big money, though.
Yeah,
he's like
he
a
feels
very,
like a very emotional leader type of guy
something
in that locker room. And the defense added Chase Young, which just means
that's fun. I didn't know that he and
nasty.
Bosa played together for at least one season at Ohio State. I thought that was fun.
That is fun not for quarterbacks.
No, terrible for quarterbacks. Like if they stay healthy, which by the way they never do. So if we just go on history, unfortunately, Niners fans, it ain't gonna be there for you because you're the on paper should win it, should represent the NFC and go to the bowl because of everybody you've got at full strength, but they just will never stay full health. But I think they win this game.
Anything to add, Mike?
No, San Francisco is going to dominate. I'll be asleep by 10.
Obviously by 10. Are you using the app yet? Are you betting back? Are you back with the Seminole betting?
No, I have not. Here in Florida, out of nowhere, the Seminole Tribe opened up betting again, but only to people that had the app a couple years ago when it was live for like 3 months. Yeah, I made one bet.
I need you to be my bookie. I didn't have an account. I'm like dry right now, and ESPN Bet is not eligible here.
That
shit came out too.
That you came down and you were here for Thanksgiving, that app was open, and we lost like $100 that weekend. So are you sure you want me to be your bookie for this? Are you sure?
Could we get some bets in for tomorrow? That would be fucking sweet.
I don't know. We'll see.
Text me, dog.
They do this time around. They have same game parlays, which is.
But here's the thing. I also think we should just bet. You've been hot on the pick'em, so we should just parlay your picks for the day, just for the day,
but
just for Thanksgiving.
But not. I'm not good against the spread. That's the challenge.
Well, maybe we money line that parlay for a minute, see what that's about. And then same game parlay every single game. Anytime touchdowns are the best. It's the most fun bet.
I'll text you.
It's the most fun bet. Pat, you ever do anytime touchdown stuff?
No, because it's not legal here.
No, it's not legal here either. But when I've traveled, anytime I travel, I squirt them in. So I go to Oregon and I visit my sister every year. I'll put 9 bets in. And you know what I mean? I'll just go heavy for a little bit. So anytime touchdown scorers, I've won Christian McCaffrey, right? That's an easy one. That's an easy one when he's playing a game.
Easy.
So it feels free.
Moving on, we have Miami at the Jets. Tim Boyle taking over for Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson will never start again.
Not for the Jets, he won't.
Oh, definitely not for the Jets, but maybe not for anybody.
Maybe not ever again. He might just like go
backup guy
or something.
You don't want to put that out there, dude.
No, there's too many other. There's a legit chance. I'll just say legit chance. Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins. They're going to be free agents or potentially moved at the end of the season.
Oh my God! If you get one of those with T.J. Watt and that D still intact,
gross.
Oh my! Is that really possible? You guys haven't had a good free agent quarterback ever that I can think of. GM. Am I right though? No big free agent quarterbacks ever. Ben was
not
drafted.
Quarterback, no. Sorry to derail. I will take Miami.
You're good. Yeah, I'm going to take Miami here too. I don't think Tim Boyle is enough to get Miami over the hump. I think Jalen Ramsey is going to feast on this poor individual. And Miami.
I hope you're right. Please be right.
Miami looked They looked a little off last week, so I feel like they need to
A
come
little
in.
bit.
They beat this Jets defense, and I think that that's kind of a statement for them. I'm not ready yet to say that this is a must-win game, but the Dolphins need to beat teams with good defenses to show me that they have any chance of moving forward in the playoffs. So this is as close for me to a must-win game as we're going to get in a Week 12 matchup with a bad team and an obviously good team. But I'm going to take Miami here in hopes that they kind of smack the Jets around a little bit. Tyreek versus Sauce is going to be fun. Craig Brooks, who are you taking here?
Got to go Miami. I'm a fan. Wearing my shirt even. Nervous about a good D. Not necessarily nervous. Actually, I'm fond of Sauce because my kid likes him. He heard me talking about Sauce Gardner. So now Sauce is his favorite player. And he's like, where's Sauce? Where's Sauce? Is Sauce playing? Is Sauce on there right now? So I'm actually quite excited for Friday because we would have the game on anyway, but he actually likes Sauce and he's getting more and more into football a little bit, thankfully to Sauce. But I'd like Sauce to get cooked by all day by anyone, but likely Tyreek, who is on pace to have the historically best wide receiver season of all time. Even I think he's potentially on pace to do it in 16, not even the 17th game.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting year. I'm slightly nervous because that defense has shown moments, but best of luck, Tim Boyle or whatever his name is. I wish him the best. It's just unlikely to go well for him at this point. I mean, he could do no worse than how bad Wilson was. Wilson couldn't get the ball out. He got sacked constantly. In times you don't need to get sacked. He took sacks. He wasn't like getting sacked. He was like taking them because he was making no decisions and taking too long. Like maybe this guy's one level better than that. So, but I think again, you brought it up with Jalen Ramsey. The defense, Miami defense, has been at least scoring points fantasy-wise, too. Like, they're making shit happen. The Jalen Phillips got his first it was a pick, I think it was, but he's had a couple sacks. Chubb's had a couple sacks. Christian Wilkins has been very disruptive down the middle. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the rest of the season for the Dolphins with a victory. Sorry for going on.
The thing I think that the Jets are struggling with right now, that offensive line is beat to shit.
Terrible.
They were on.
You don't bring Aaron back. You don't bring him back. Even if he is ready, don't bring him back.
No, they weren't good when Aaron started the season. They've lost almost all of those players since then. So they're on the guys that couldn't beat out those guys. They're now taking real NFL snaps against real NFL defenses, and they look about as solid as a spaghetti strainer. It's not a good situation. Also, I think Nathaniel Hackett might be the worst offensive coordinator not named Matt Canada in the NFL. I think I could call a better offense than
There's
Nathaniel
only one
Hackett.
person on earth that disagrees with you, and it's Aaron Rodgers. That's
Aaron
it.
Rodgers. But
everyone
that's
else agrees
he's
with you.
Fucking Aaron Rodgers. So
he likes that system, and it doesn't make sense.
I'm going to read you guys a quote from Nathaniel Hackett because I found this today, and I almost sent it, and I was like, you know what? I want live instant reactions.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. I was like, I want real, genuine reactions when I read this on the podcast. So, quote, Nathaniel Hackett. This comes from Zach Rosenblatt, who is a Jets beat reporter. Nathaniel Hackett. When it comes to stats, there's so many different ways to look at numbers. Good, bad. There are people throughout this league that have been very, very good. There are those that are not as good. That fluctuates. There are so many things that change. That's why this game is so great. So many different things that change. Personnel, situations, so many different things.
What? That's a whole lot of nothing, man. What the fuck are you?
That's head coach speak, man. That guy's elevating his game.
He's a failed head coach. He is not a.
But if he talked like that, maybe he would have had a year too.
I really think we're in a situation where Aaron likes him on a personal level, is very good at football. Aaron Rodgers is good at football. You don't have to like him as a person, which most don't.
Super good.
But he's very good at the football. I think he took a personal liking to this schlub who and he made it work, which by the way, Devontae Adams was a part of that. And some other really strong. Hackett's not been there forever and ever and ever. He wasn't back there in the McCarthy era. It's a newer thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's really hard to disagree that he is currently now the worst because Canada got booted.
Yeah. So I think he's bad. I think he's real bad. So I don't even know that the ceiling for Tim Boyle upon playing in this game is going to be that good, because I don't believe in his play calling. I think he's just bad at this. He just has Aaron Rodgers, who makes him look less bad at stuff. He literally got him a head coaching job. Like Aaron Rodgers literally got Nathaniel Hackett a head coaching job.
Did you see? I don't know if this has been going on all year, but I saw a conspiracy theory for the first time today that Aaron Rodgers did not actually tear his Achilles, and that's why he's able to come back so quickly.
That's horseshit.
Which sounds ridiculous. Sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Why would they deal? You see what's going on with the Bengals right now? There's like some litigation level shit going on with the Bengals over
Burrow on the injury report.
So I don't think the Jets could lie about it. I think there's too much at stake.
Well, so the Jets, I'm going to go mini tangent on the Jets here, just for my friend Justin.
My favorite stuff is tangents.
I love you, Justin. This is for you. The Jets are fucking stupid. So I need to get this out. You cannot get Aaron Rodgers to come back at 40 years of age and put him behind this sieve of an offensive line. Can't do it. No can do. They're talking about in the offseason making a push for Vegas or to Vegas for Devontae Adams. Can't do it. Reinforce this fucking offensive line. You've already paid multiple Aaron Rodgers weapons. You have some of the best weapons in the NFL that are going to need new contracts at some point soon. Brees, Garrett Wilson, all going to need new contracts. You don't have really anything at the tight end position, but like you need to invest money in the offensive line. If this team is going to succeed,
the offensive line.
Only spend they have $30 million in cap space next year. Spend all of it along the offensive line. If you don't spend all of it along the offensive line, you are not going to win games. Aaron Rodgers is very good. He is not the Aaron Rodgers he was 4 years ago, because he is 40.
None of them would be good on their back. Nobody. Mahomes isn't good on his back.
He's even less because he's less mobile than he was. And he's coming off an experimental Achilles surgery that, like, apparently he's going to start practicing. Which
it's not just him. There's like there's four athletes that got it all at almost the same time. They were J.K. Dobbins is in there and a few others.
It's concerning. But he's the one that's old. He's an old guy, and he did it, and, like, it's concerning. I wouldn't let him come back. If I'm the Jets, I'm like, just wait till next year. Let us draft an offensive lineman in the mid-first round. I agree with you. And we will reevaluate, get you back out there next year fully healthy, appropriate timeline, come back strong, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not Woody Johnson, so the fuck do I know? That's all.
What does he know?
What is he?
He hasn't won anything. He hasn't won a goddamn thing.
Not a thing.
I think it's been in the family for long enough, but it was his grandfather who would have fucking done the other, or his father at the least.
Maybe even like
yeah, like he doesn't know anything about winning. He writes the checks. Apparently, they have nice facilities, so you got to give an owner props for that. Because some of them,
thanks,
I guess,
Giants. It's the Giants building, baby. They're just renters. Thanks, Giants, for those nice facilities. Actually, it was just voted in an anonymous player poll the worst place to play. So,
I meant the practice facilities, not the stadium.
It is the turf. They say it's hideous. It looks like an air conditioner. So it does. Look at it from the outside. It looks like an air conditioner.
What was number one? Sorry, double tangent. What was number one on that list? SoFi or something?
It was Kansas City. I think Kansas City, they said, was the favorite place to play.
Arrowhead, nice.
Yeah, I get it. The energy, the excitement, the like.
Taylor Swift in the building.
Taylor Swift is there probably more often than not at current times.
She's doing a residency there essentially.
Basically, best stadium is Arrowhead. They said Arrowhead because I guess you want to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and now the
Arrowhead
City. It's just a good time. It's a good time.
They just lost at home.
They did just lose at home because receivers can't catch the ball. We'll talk about that in a second. New Orleans at Atlanta. Give me the Saints. I never thought I'd take Derek Carr, but then I had to pick between him and Desmond Ridder, and I was
Is he playing?
Give me Derek. I think so. I believe he's playing this week.
Okay. I didn't think he was playing, so I was really torn on this one. But if he's playing, I will 100% take New Orleans.
No, give me the Dirty Birds. Give me those Dirty Birds. I believe in Artie Smith to have a comeback game. He wants to save his job. They need to
He's in
win.
desperation mode.
He has returned to practice, but is not yet cleared in concussion protocol.
Gotcha.
But he's back at practice. So I'm going to take the Saints. I think Taysom Hill back there could beat this fucking.
I hope I steal one from you guys
Falcons.
this week.
You're only 16 back. So.
I missed a week or something, dude.
Yeah, the week
Did
you got two. You got two right. That's the week you missed.
But did I try? Like you're saying, I submitted all the picks.
Oh, you did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad week.
Yeah.
We all
So
had a bad week that
what
week,
you're
so
saying is that number is accurate, and I didn't miss and omit a week.
That's correct.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold on. Let me double check. I think you have the same number of picks outside of 1 or 2 Thursdays that you missed. Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it. You know what? For this whole time, I was giving myself the old off the hook ski. Like, oh, fuck, I fucking skipped a week. That's what happens when you skip a week. Got it. So I really need to get it together. We're week 11 or no, 12. Oh, no.
12.
Oh, no. So I have 7 opportunities, and I'm very far behind.
Very.
So basically, I need to do moral victory type shit and have like 1 or 2 dominant weeks. And that's it. That's all I've got. This is that week. And the Falcons are the start of that.
We'll see.
We should have put something on it. I'm sorry. Because Mike's definitely going to win this year, and there's nothing.
I'm only 1 up on Pat.
That's true.
I'll definitely beat you.
Towards the top.
How dare you? What if
this whole season?
Oh, you just fucking tempted those football gods, didn't you? You just tickled their taints, and you said, "Hey guys, I know you were not looking at this at all.
I know you've been super nice to me by firing
but I've made a
Canada,
proclamation." I can't wait for the rest of it. You know what, Pat? Just have it reset to 0. Let's start this fucking
I'm
week.
not confident at that point.
Now that I've built a 16-game lead. Anyway, Steelers at Cincy. I'm taking Pittsburgh here because the Bengals don't have a quarterback, and Joe Mixon cannot do it himself. So give me Pittsburgh here. I think the new coach theory is good. I think the Steelers are going to make this a statement win. I'm going to even say, they win by 10. I think this is
Stop it
by 10.
I cannot remember the last time the Steelers won by 2 scores.
That is my prediction. I'm going to go to you first, Craig Brooks. We're going to make Mike sit and stew before he picks the Bengals.
We know he's going to pick the Bengals because he just does it as some sort of superstition thing. Even if he thinks the Steelers are going to win, I think the Steelers have to win this. So I'm picking them because I think they have to. I think they have to because they got to prove, hey, this guy was the problem. Here we are. And they do have a better kind of roll of the dice here. You're getting Browning. You're not getting Burrow. And that there's always a drop off no matter what. Doesn't mean a backup can't win a game. If they get all their shit together, it could happen. But I am hopeful we see a multi-sack TJ Watt performance. That's always fun.
I think that's definitely going to happen. Carolina at Tennessee. Mike, I'm not even going to talk to you. I know you're
it's Cincinnati all the way.
Yeah, he will not deviate.
You want to beat the Steelers, roll out a backup quarterback.
Carolina at Tennessee. Give me Tennessee because the Panthers are a shit show. Mike Thomas, I'm going to go to you first now because you didn't really get to say anything last time.
Tennessee's really bad too. Like let's not discount how good they are at sucking this year, but I would probably pick Tennessee to lose against every team in the league except for Carolina at home.
They're the worst team.
So,
they're the worst team in the league by far.
So I will take Tennessee at home to win a game that is not going to be fun.
No,
I will not try to steal one here. I will not because really what it boils down to for me isn't even the players because I think there's good players on both sides. I think like you got 2 coaches on 2 different like planets right now. Reich's just bad. We've seen it. You're done, man. You just should go back to being a coordinator. He was very effective as a coordinator, right? That maybe is like proven now. Vrabel needs a new setting. He's not bad. He's not. He's dealing with diminished talent. He had that talent all the way to an AFC championship. he can coach and proved it. He needs a new setting. And I don't even think it's new players there. I think he got to go. And I think sometimes that happens.
Just gonna pitch it. We said last week that it was rumored Belichick was gonna go to the Chargers. And do you think Vrabel might slide in as Patriots head coach? You know, that maybe fill that
Wow.
vacancy?
That would be very compelling. You're talking like the writers doing some really good work. That would be very good work. Herbert, Belichick, people can get very excited about that storyline. And Vrabel in a homecoming, they just put him in the damn ring too.
Yeah.
They put him in the ring. Oh boy, I want that to happen. That's like I had I probably said this before, so I apologize, but I had this like moment this season where I'm like, oh man, I've always dogged like reality TV. My wife will watch shit that I'll make fun of, Kardashians, all this, and I'm like, oh no, that's what football is for us. Oh no,
Correct.
it's reality TV. The storylines, when you get into the storylines and all that, like we do. I was like, oh, bummer. That's why they like those shows so much. This is just the thing when you're not into football. This one doesn't feel good.
Well, in-season Hard Knocks dropped this week, right?
I
This week
know.
was the
I know.
first
I have to catch up.
epi.
I might even try to do it tonight.
Also, fantasy football is just D&D. By the way, just a little side note.
Interesting.
D&D.
I'm not rolling any dice though.
No, but it's the statistics and putting people in places and like creating a fictitious. It's just Dungeons and Dragons.
I love it.
Very interesting. Anyway, yeah, we're all taking the Titans here in the poop bowl of the week.
I hope they
Tampa
score
Bay,
80 points
that would be so awesome.
together. Yeah, I hope it's great.
I hope they each score 80 points. It's just a score fest. Bucks at Colts. Craig Brooks, I'm gonna go to you first. Who you taking in this game?
Colts, Minshew mania in full effect. I do think the
like
Bucks have been exposed a little bit, like half. They can still win games. Rashad White's actually looking decent. Like things are happening, but the defense doesn't seem to be where they used to be. They're letting people score, at least with the things I'm seeing. So they're still relevant, though. They're not like totally out of it by any means. I think they're in the hunt or whatever. I'm trying to visualize the graphic from Red Zone over the weekend, but yeah, not going to go with the Bucks this time.
Mike Thomas, who you taking in this game?
Yeah, I'm also going to take Indianapolis. It's about time they get a break. You know, Jim Irsay came out and was talking about his arrest and, you know, how he's been targeted because he's a white billionaire. And it's so just hard. The team, it's got so much going against them. I think they just need a break.
It's fair. I'm going to say that they don't get that break this week. I am taking Baker Mayfield and the Bucks.
The Bake Show.
This was just a gut
Cheesecake Factory fan number one.
The biggest fan of the Cheesecake Factory parking lot you will ever see. He loves Cheesecake Factory, parking lots, and Uggos. Those are his things. If you put them together, having a great time.
That is one of the funniest way to say that. It's very hurtful to that particular woman who really savvy people could find out who that is. They could just Google it.
We talked about it. It's fine. I didn't even look at her picture, but I trust in what you had said enough that I was like, she's a no-go.
Well, I trusted who was told me, but I did look up the picture and it was validated. It was like, I originally was going off trust as well.
We have a good trust circle here. I feel good about it. Moving right along. New England at the Giants.
You want to talk about Uggos?
The Patriots here. Yeah, this is another poop bowl, to be completely honest with you. Give me the Patriots here.
Sunday's action is shit.
It's not great. It's not a good situation. I like the Patriots just because Patriots are
Family
coming
day
off of a bye. And Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks is almost unfair. It is almost unfair. This man commands defenses very well. So give me the Pats here. Also, if the Giants lose this game, they have a 47% chance of getting a top 2 pick. So this is more hoping than actual picking. But Bill Belichick's still very good at defense. And if the offense can do anything, they should win this game. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
I'm going to take New York. to win
Wow.
this one at home. But yeah, it's all bad though. Like
It's
there's
not
no storyline to weave to be like, oh, they match up well here. They're gonna do. It's just a crap show all the way down.
It is. It is another poop bowl. Craig Brooks.
Tommy DeVito, got to take him because I saw him do this when he was celebrating a
Did do
touchdown, and I liked it. I liked it. He's leaning in. Is he the one that is still like living with his parents and talks about it, and his mom does his laundry?
That does his laundry.
I fucking love that. And that he just got a win too, right? They just won. Like this dude, he must be young too. He's in his low 20s, I imagine.
Undrafted free agent this year.
Right. So he's making the min. So he's not like a poor person, but he's certainly like, you can't go buy a big fancy house in New York with making that level of money. It's such an interesting, to me, Mike said no storylines. I think he's the storyline. I think he's the intriguing thing.
Storyline.
I don't know, man. We like a Brock Purdy type story. We like an irrelevant that could
He's
become.
not that.
I didn't say he was as good as Brock Purdy. I'm just saying that he did this. He threw for 3 tutties. It's the Giants.
Saquon's alive.
Saquon is the reason I'm picking the Giants. Saquon is very good at football. He will be the best player on the field in that entire game at all times.
Of the time. Yeah,
the whole time. The fucking whole time.
I don't know. Dexter Lawrence is pretty good on the Giants defensive front. He's like ranked as the 4th best pass rusher in pressures by snap or something like that. PFF put that out.
He is good, but I think Saquon is like is at the high, that weird god tier he can go to.
He does. He has that Super Saiyan level. Moving right along, Jacksonville at Houston. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
Ooh, I'm going to take the CJ Strouds.
The Houston Strouds.
Yeah.
He's exceptional.
He's so good. He's so good. Craig Brooks,
I even like, I it's hard to bet against the Texans right now. It really
it's
is.
It's hard to bet against Jacksonville.
I know. The problem is like Trevor's really finding himself.
Yeah.
Really coming into his own, using his legs really effectively, knows how to
doing really well.
Oh my God, yeah, but he's even making sure Ridley gets active because that's when they do really well, when he's touching it a lot. Like it's tough. And you're saying who's at home? Not Jacksonville.
Houston's at home.
Houston's at home. You know what? I gotta steal some, so I'll go Jacksonville. I got to start to take some away. Like my only way to have this real, visualize and manifest defeating Mike is to go against the grain here.
Well, I'm going to go with Mike, and I'm going to take the CJ Strouds. He's so good. He is so good.
I hope it's not a flash in the pan because he's fun. He's fun. He's saying the right stuff. I don't think so either. I think he's the dude. I think he's the dude. And Carolina boffed it.
He's got good accuracy. At worst, it's good accuracy. Throws well off the run. And people forget, he is also behind a makeshift offensive line. They lost Laramie Tunsil. They lost a lot of their starting offensive linemen in training camp. These are like second, third string guys that he's behind this line, and this offense moves the fucking ball.
I saw them breaking down footage.
Because I dropped Devin Singletary 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, he's heating up. I saw footage of CJ going through like progressions, and it was Orlovsky talking about it, of like he's at a top 5 in the league level already at being able to go through progressions. He's like, rookies normally can't get to a 4. They can't get to a 4th option. This dude's doing it with regularity. Like he's getting it through to, and that's why people we've never heard of are ripping. The Tank Dells, the Nico Collins, that there's another one that kind of popped off because. Right, someone's got to get those 3,000 yards that he's already thrown.
Yeah. I have Noah Brown in fantasy. I didn't drop him, so I'm not completely stupid. But
well, here's the thing, and I don't know. I should have checked first. Someone in a league I'm in, Mike, you must be in this because you're in both leagues. Trevor Lawrence was on the waivers, so I went very heavy to pick him up because I don't think he's injured, and I need a quarterback. I had Burrow and Kirk Cousins,
Ouch.
Which was so good though. I was starting Kirk, and because I had Kirk Jefferson, the stack, then Jefferson goes down, but I stayed with Kirk. Then Kirk goes down. Burrow comes in, does good. Burrow go down. I'm like, oh no, what do I got? And then there was Trevor Lawrence. I kind of want to check my app. Did I get him? Today would be the day.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is one of those quarterbacks for fantasy purposes where he could easily finish top 10, top 12, or 16 to 20.
Was it you? Did you drop him?
No, he was not on my. I've got Josh Allen in that league, so
Oh, well, that's good and bad.
I have not rostered
That's
any
true.
other quarterback.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
that here in a second too. While Craig is looking at that, we're going to talk first 4:00 game, Cleveland at Denver. I am taking the Broncos.
Cleveland at
over
Denver. You're going with the hot hand. You're going with the hot hand.
I love me some Russell Wilson. Always have. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Russ here. I just don't think DTR is gonna be able to do it in Denver. I don't believe in that Browns offense the way that they're currently running it.
I got him.
Craig got Trevor Lawrence.
Craig bid 33 of $100 fab on Trevor Lawrence. Nobody else placed a bid on him.
Oh no, I lost a lot of money on that. Oh no, you're saying I could have won $3?
Yeah.
Why did nobody want him?
$0.
Why did nobody want him? He's been good.
I think it's just because he's one of those quarterbacks where if he does well, he's going to be, top 10 maybe, and if most weeks he's probably going to be just outside the top 10.
I think this could be the reason I continue my winning streak. I was going to go down a whole notch in quarterback. Now I got a guy that's consistent for 20 points.
20 points isn't bad. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this Browns-Broncos game?
God, why is Denver good all of a sudden? What did they get healthy? Their defense is just turning the ball over.
Wait a minute. We talked about this.
Now.
Russ. Oh, that's true. The D is playing very well, but Russ has been actually quietly cooking all year. His stat line's very good.
I know, but they've got 11 turnovers their last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're not doing as well as they should off that amount of turnovers, but the offense got
They've won 4 in a row.
I mean, like scoring. I meant scoring. Sorry. Yes, they're winning, but they're not they're not taking advantage of the turnover differential as strongly as they could. But Cortland Sutton has leveled up. He's not a 1 though, and that's the problem. Jerry Jeudy was supposed to be the 1, but he's also not a 1. Right. So the problem is they're actually needing a real wide receiver. One stud comes there. I think they go to like prolific offense level. I'm not kidding about that. So I don't think it's too late this year, obviously, for that. But the financial commitment to both Sean Payton and Russell will go at least another year. I think it's actually locked in for like 2. So yeah, I think he's gotten that shit together.
So
I will say, have a problem. I was gonna take Denver. I would take Denver, but they're playing Cleveland, so I have to take all the AFC North teams. So I'm just gonna take Cleveland.
Oh my!
Damn it,
Craig Brooks, who are you taking?
It's in Denver.
It's in Denver.
It's in Denver.
Yeah, I'll Bronco it up. Let's ride.
Bronco, let's ride.
Bronco country.
Rams
ride
at Arizona. The LA Rams. Kyron Williams is back for the Rams this week. I don't know if he's going to be on a pitch count or not, probably. But Williams is back. Rams at Cardinals. Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
Ugh. Arizona's 2-9. Rams 4-6. No good teams to be found anywhere here. Is there any hope for a good game? Not Kyler Murray, not Matthew Stafford. Boy, I guess I'll take the... Can you come back to me?
Nope. You got to go first. Because I'm literally, my whole fucking thing was whatever Mike didn't take. Because I'm trying to steal one. Right here. I'm trying to take one.
I guess I'll take Arizona at home.
Damn it, I wanted Kyler.
You just said you were going to just...
Fuck. Can I
don't like any
take
of
the
this.
Rams. Cup got hurt again, didn't he?
He did. He is hurt. So it is the Puka Nakua show again.
No, it isn't. It isn't. The Rams aren't going to... Neither of these teams are doing anything of merit this season, I don't think.
No, not this season.
Shit. Cardinals.
I'm also taking the Cardinals.
Oh, God. A sweeper deeper.
I love Kyler. He has been
points
very
awarded.
good since he came back. So feeling good about this.
You guys, you blew my mind with that he could be a Steeler next year. That broke my mind.
I don't think he's... I would not put money on him being a Steeler. I'm just saying...
The only reason I don't think he is now is I think if they wanted to trade him, they would have left him on IR all season. And
They're going to
do
try
that.
to re-sign him. They're going to try to
he's
re-sign
signed up.
him.
He's got a deal already. He's getting big.
I thought
money
he was
already.
going to be a free agent or something.
Oh no, you're right. They did give him the money before last season. It was all about the video game shit.
Right.
You're
The
right.
contract came out
He's
about-
right. So you falsely got me excited. It's Kirk Cousins that you could have. You can have Kirk Cousins, I believe.
Think if Kirk Cousins can return to form, I think.
Oh, you would like that. You would.
I think they'd be instant championship contender.
For sure. I agree.
So yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals. I think if they wanted to move from him with this new GM, new head coach, they have the opportunity. They're going to probably pick anywhere from second to third, fourth, somewhere in there. They could get their guy at quarterback. I don't think they want to do that. I think Kyler's showing that he can still do it. So I'm going to take Kyler here. Kansas City at Vegas. This Chiefs team could easily be an undefeated team in the NFL if these fucking wide receivers could catch the ball.
Unbelievable, bro.
I think this is the worst wide receiver core in the NFL. I really do.
I think you're right. Kelsey not included because he's a tight end. He's phenomenal. He dropped the tutty. He did so it was like the Super Bowl loss.
And her fam. They should have fucking broke up.
No, she wasn't there. She was not at the game.
She was there. It was just
no, she was in Brazil for a redo. So she was not there. Mode. He definitely would have caught it if she was there.
That's fair.
If she was there, he would have caught it. He would have spiked it in the rain, win the game. But the drops are so reminiscent of the Super Bowl loss to the Bucs, where guys are getting hit in the hands. These throws, I know we talk about this a lot, Pat. We go down this rabbit hole.
MBS.
Pat Mahomes can put it in places other dudes can't, and he's putting it on these dudes in the way that was like, you could see it on their faces. They're like, it's all me. I was not put in a bad spot here. It bounced off my fucking fingertips. It hit the people in the face mask a couple times. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And Patty said after the game, he was like, "Oh, I could have given Valdez-Scantling a better ball there." And it's like,
yeah, he always talks that way because he's the best.
Have dropped
he's
it
the
in
best.
His hands, like from over his shoulder, and
dude,
been like,
the two Watson drops were also maybe worse. Did I do that? Am I doing that?
I don't know. I was like,
That's
fuck?
the second thing that showed up on my thing.
Yeah, there was a speech bubble
for a minute. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Who is enjoying only my stuff and triggering things? You see, I'm doing nothing. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know why Riverside is saying there was a thumbs up earlier. So the Watson drops were worse. The MVS is bad. It's bad, but it's a hard. You're stretching out. You're stretching out. It's hard, but it's a tutty. But Watson had also a tutty that could drop and a sideline lengthy first down that was literally the last play, fucking play, the 4th and 25. It went directly through his hands, like directly through. It's insane. They have the most drops in the NFL. They had 6 that game, and they were clearly the better team. Here's why. Again, I'll pick them, but like they should feel, while bummed about their record, very good about being able to beat anybody. They just need to bring someone from the practice squad, try some new guys out. You still sign free agents? Like, you don't have to. It's trades are dead. You could still sign motherfuckers. Like, go get somebody just with some veteran something to teach these motherfuckers how to close their hands on it.
I think New England has the worst wide receiver crew.
Yeah, I mean, they have Juju, right, who at least knows that he was with Kansas City last year and he didn't drop 14 balls.
But I think he's got like a single tendon left holding his knee together or something. It's just...
No, that's close. I think that's a fair point Mike's making. They're also very bad.
I mean,
they are.
Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and McCole Hardman versus Devontae Parker, Demario Douglas, Juju, Tyquan Thornton, Jalen Reagor.
I would rather have Parker and Juju is a better one too.
That's definitely a better one too than what's going on.
I don't think I agree with that.
Who do you like as the one?
I think Demario Douglas is better than those two guys.
I mean, even still, that's still.
I would take the Chiefs receivers all day over the Patriots, but that might be
just with the yips, man. I don't know that I can. I don't know, because it seems like these guys are dropping balls now, not because they don't know how to catch, because they're scared they're going to drop the ball.
You do know that Deontay Johnson is a member of the Steelers, right? Like, he is just drop city. Like
Yeah.
I am
Yeah,
a
yeah.
connoisseur in watching a receiver drop footballs. And when there's so
I
few
understand.
perfectly placed footballs going on in Pittsburgh, those drops are highlighted.
You're right. At least Mahomes can put it on that spot again, and then again. He's too good. I hope he stays healthy for 15 more years.
Yeah, me too.
All the Patty Mahomes. I'm taking the Chiefs here, Mike. You taking the Chiefs?
Oh yeah, the Las Vegas has no chance.
This one's fun. Bills at Philly. After I saw the video of Nick Sirianni screaming in the tunnel that he didn't want to hear shit from Chiefs fans anymore, I immediately was like, this dude's a fucking dork. And I was also like, I cannot wait for them to beat you in the Super Bowl again. I'm very excited. But I am going to take the Eagles here to beat the Bills because I've said it on this podcast multiple times. People can go back and check beginning of the season. I think that Bills window of competition is closed. I do not think that they will even make the playoffs this year. I think that they're done. I think that there needs to be an overhaul over there.
Cooked.
I think that means head coach, defensive coordinator, offensive, everybody. They need to scramble up everything over there and start to build around, I guess, Josh Allen. But
well, I'll tell you this: if they somehow, I got to pick the Eagles as well. I hate rooting for the Eagles, but it's fine. If the Bills do win this game, though, you're very wrong about what you just said, and the momentum and the hype will get ridiculous again. Like if Allen has a pristine game, which he won't, he fucking won't, because the pressure is going to get there. The pressure will get there. Philly does that well. So he's going to get disrupted, which is when he falls apart and like hands it off to people's crotches and does all kinds of dumb stuff. Like that really shows why he can't and doesn't deserve to be in that tippy top conversation that he always gets in, that I get upset about. He doesn't deserve it. He's done nothing to do that, but he keeps getting in there. If they pressure him, he won't. But if they somehow win that game, I think the narrative goes right back to preseason. Bills are fucking gonna rip through the AFC. I do.
Yeah, I think it goes back, but I'm still not a believer. I don't believe in this Bills team. They're the worst version of themselves that they've been. They are the worst version of the Bills that they have been, and they haven't been able to get past the AFC Championship game. Why the fuck would they be able to do it now? I don't believe in the Bills. I actually picked the Bills to score the least amount of points this week. That's how much I don't believe the Bills.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
Wow.
I'm also going to take Philadelphia, but I will. Tom Brady has gotten some headlines because didn't he go out and basically say like there's just not a lot of good football teams this year. There's no like really good football.
Nobody's dominant. Yeah,
nobody's dominant. They're not putting good football out there on the field on a week in week out basis.
It's a sloppy season. But
it's talking fun. Right at the Eagles.
It's been fun.
The Eagles are 9-1. And they should be a good team, but for whatever reason, they just don't look that impressive when you watch them play on a week in, week out basis. So I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo wins this game, but I will take Philadelphia to win at home because Buffalo is also deeply flawed.
Super flawed, very old on the defensive side of the ball, and it's very expensive on that side of the ball. Baltimore at Chargers.
Ugh.
I'm taking the Ravens here. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be an offensive game. But the Chargers defense being called by soon to be former head coach Brandon Staley is bad. Did you guys see last week a reporter asked him, are you still going to continue to call the defense?
Very bad.
He was very angry. He was very
so
testy.
Defensive.
And
so
defensive. Like, I'm going to keep calling the defense. You can stop asking that question. And it's like, well, so Pat did what Pat does, and he did a little digging. And last week, Justin Herbert had his best single season quarterback rating ever. He had like a 97.2 according to PFF's metric. It's the best one he's ever had. They lost that fucking game. Can I also tell you,
he's a bad coach.
He's a bad coach. When they played the Titans, who we just said not a good football team, and this is with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Herbert threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The defense sacked Ryan Tannehill 5 times, and Derrick Henry didn't break 100 yards rushing. Guess who won that game? The Titans.
The Titans.
The Chargers defense allowed the Titans to score 27 points in that game. It's the first time since week 11 of 2022 that Tennessee scored more than 22 points. The Titans are averaging 15 points per game. They are also the Chargers are the 33rd team in the Super Bowl era, so since 1966, to win 50 plus points and 0 turnovers in 2 games. They did that to start the season. They are the only team that ever started 0-2. And last one, promise. Since 2010, teams with 275 plus passing yards and no turnovers are 382, 96, and 2. That is a win percentage of 80%. And with the loss today to the Titans, or with the loss to the Titans, the Chargers are 1 of 96.
Yeah. He's an analytics coach. We know that about him, right? Like he's the one that commonly gets talked about as the most analytics focused head coach, right? There's others that have been on that tip, but none as aggressive as him.
Right.
That strategy doesn't work. That strategy will never work if it's your only strategy. If you have no feel for the game and no actual kind of like second layer to it, you can use all the coaches, even the best ones, look at analytics. It's what part of their fucking job.
It's a tool.
They just factor it exactly. They use it as a tool, not as their whole fucking like everything it's his gospel. Yeah. He's doing that. He's giving the ball to the other team and giving them short fields with constantly. Those are essentially turnovers. The guy he's making turnovers for the other team. And the biggest thing for me of why I can only bet against him and pick against him these days, even though I like Herbert, I like Eckler, I like Allen, I like people on the team, is they're so poorly coached. He's show me another good head coach that gets as defensive as that in a press conferences and so like literally like is trying to make it clear to everyone that he feels very confident in all his decisions. Like, cool, bro. We don't need you to have like a crisis of life right now, which you're clearly having. You're just a football coach. Calm it down. Calm it down. We don't respect you because of it's not about you, man. It's about the work product on the field. We ain't talking about you. We're talking about like the output here, and there isn't any.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that this Chargers offense is actually, I think it's by points, by average passing yard in the game, or whatever, something along those lines. Like one of the better offenses in the NFL.
The players should coup him. They should do a coup.
Mike Williams went out early this season for the year. Their third receiver, Palmer, went out. He's hurt for the rest of the season. Their tight ends are constantly hurt. Like, this team on offense is not healthy, and it is one of the best offenses in the NFL. Their defense could not stop the wind from blowing through a paper bag. It is fucking atrocious. So give me the Ravens here all day, because that offense at least knows how to move the fucking football.
Baltimore's a good team. Baltimore could have some playoff relevance here, not just the one.
Mark Andrews, I think, is going to hurt them. But
is it all year? Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Mike Thomas, who are you taking in this game?
I'm definitely taking Baltimore to win this game, and I'm going to say they win it easily, 27-10.
I like we get random Is it always the AFC North only that he score predicts, or ever just random?
No, he always picks the AFC North, but he doesn't always give us score predictions. But
okay,
I like.
We should be betting those. That you know how insane that pays when you get the fucking dead on score. You can bet that.
I've never been anywhere close to the dead on score.
I'm not saying that you were in the past, but
you're hot. Moving along, final game of the week, Monday Night Football. This is not a good game, but I think it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yes, it will.
Chicago at Minnesota.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs has been a revelation. He's been so fun this season, doing stuff with Arizona, coming over to Minnesota, not knowing guys' first names, never having taken a snap from the center and
winning
going down
2
the
in a
field
row
to win. And yeah, awesome story. Great things. I'm going to take the Bears here. I think Justin Fields gets it done. I think the Bears offense is better than the Vikings defense, which is not saying a lot, but yeah, I'm going to take the Bears. Mike Thomas, with your what?
With the DMX what? He just hit you with the DMX what right there.
I'm gonna Josh Dobbs walk-off touchdown win, 23-18.
The Pastronaut, weird number too.
It's so weird.
That's a what 6 field goal
Origami.
situation.
I love it.
Or a couple of missed extra
Or
points.
what
that's
Mike
true.
is betting on is 2 touchdowns with 2-point conversions and a safety. That's what
Ooh.
that's what Mike wants to
Ooh.
see.
I like what
I mean,
you
I
did
don't care
there.
how you get
You
there.
did some quick algebra. You did some fucking 7th grade math, and you just
My
aced
brain
that shit.
I just went for it.
Nobody believes the Bears can get 2-point conversions in the same game.
You know what?
But
You're
here,
right.
wait a minute though. Isn't Justin Fields sneaky playing well this year?
He is.
When
If
he
you look
plays.
at when he plays, I
But
know
that's
when
not
he
his fault.
plays, he's playing really well. So it's like
Playing for his job.
I was about to say but I also feel like he's auditioning for another team is really what should happen.
Little column
Because
comedy.
have they even with
Pittsburgh
DJ
Steelers.
Moore? Oh no, Mike doesn't want that. I don't think.
He doesn't
But
want
I think
He doesn't want it.
I think he deserves another team, right? They brought in DJ Moore. It's still this. He's playing better. The team's no good. The defense is no good. I think he deserves another shot somewhere else. And there's going to be a really interesting narrative in the offseason of the amount of teams that are going to want one of those. Are there like what is that? Are there live listeners I don't know about?
There's not. There's not. I
What?
wish
Like,
there
this
was.
man's on a
Hilarious.
soapbox. Give him some soap bubbles.
Tell him to shut up. Give him a thumbs down. Fuck, I was just going to say there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks and teams that want one of those top 2. There's going to be like 6 teams in that mix.
Yeah, I'm curious what happens. New England.
You're
obviously
doing
needs
that,
a
Mike. It's
quarterback.
Mike fucking Thomas doing
I
it.
don't know how to do it,
It did happen to Mike Thomas one time. I don't know how it happened.
but nobody believed me
Nobody believed you.
Oh, you got one.
He did get one.
a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. He was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I'm curious to see because New England needs a quarterback. The Giants obviously need a quarterback. It's the
Mike's
thing
been
that sucks
pointing
is-
at him like a crazy person. Sorry.
The thing that sucks is Carolina is going to end up with the worst record in the league. No first round pick because they mortgaged everything.
It's
for
the Bears.
Bryce.
The Bears have the 2.
The Bears have 2. They're going to get 2.
Which is
top
maybe
5
why
picks, which
that
is
might be why you
crazy.
keep Fields too, right? That's the thing. You can get Marvin Harrison Jr. and like the best lineman.
tackle.
the best tackle, and you would be potentially like transformed.
Yeah, because Marvin Harrison and DJ Moore
I
on
mean,
the outside is
So sick.
gross.
That would immediately become like the 1-2, the top 1-2 in the league because of we haven't seen Harrison play in the pros, but holy shit, what he's doing over there.
Crushing college. College cannot contain this young man. Interesting to see. Very curious what goes on. But Craig, you haven't given us who you taking in this game.
Oh my god, I forgot who's playing.
The
Who
Bears
are
and
we
the
talking
Vikings.
about? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess I'll take the Bears. I think Josh Dobbs, what seems to happen when he goes to places is he starts very hot, gets a couple things going, people start talking the talk, then he fades away and goes back to like why, while you're a smart guy, you became an astronaut and all that stuff. Like you have the skills, but you start feeling yourself, and when you start feeling yourself, you go back like down a whole notch and a half, and that's back to like third string quarterback level. So I think we're going to see that in the near future.
The Vikings just need to make sure that the pro shop doesn't sell his jersey.
You're right. You need to develop a chip
Piss
on
him
his
off.
shoulder. You need
Yeah.
to piss him off.
Piss him
It
off.
worked in
No, I just-
Arizona.
I don't think this is going to be an interesting offseason for him too, because does he get a shot to like be an installed starter somewhere? He's certainly going to. There's some people that are going to point to tape where it's like, yeah, you should do that. But I think he's been in the league a long time. We've seen him in a lot of different places. Is this his? I think he's like 28 or something. Is this his moment? Is this his moment where then he becomes is this his Geno Smith moment where next year would be that, right? I don't know. I don't know.
Matt Flynn 2.0.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm
big
actually with you.
contract and not be
I'm
very
with
good.
you. But then good for him though. If he can get a
Good
little
for-
bag,
yeah.
because
I
that
think he's
Matt
gonna
Flynn
get
bag
one.
it would be so much bigger. The bag would be so much bigger. Now Flynn got like 20 guaranteed.
Yeah, something like that.
And it was totally worth it or whatever. I think this dude could get like 80.
Yeah, I mean, with the quarterback market, what it is right now, especially with like when you look at the teams that are going to be desperate.
I mean
Like
total
I could
guaranteed,
see
not
him
per year,
go.
by the way. Sorry. I meant
Oh
like a
damn.
4-year. I did not mean per year. Sorry.
Yeah, I could see it. Like I said, when you look at the teams that are going to be quarterback hungry, the Raiders are probably going to be looking for a quarterback. The Vikings are definitely going to be looking for a quarterback if they can't retain Kirk. You got possibly the Cardinals, possibly the Rams, possibly the Browns.
But is what is holding him back how weird he looks? Is that what's holding him back from being like an everyday starter? He just looks weird. He has a
I
weird look
mean,
about him.
I don't think he can control the fact that he doesn't have hair follicles that are willing to grow hair, but maybe. I
Mike
don't think
can't
that's up
control
to
it either.
him.
He's making it work. But he couldn't control what's happening over there. That reverse Hitler.
Just duct tape and nair.
Are you still doing the neck, or you at least clean that up?
I haven't cleaned it up in like a week
Oh,
or so.
fuck.
It was away.
It's his vacation beard. But yeah, I think he could get a little bag. I think it could definitely happen. I think he's earned himself the opportunity to like at least go into a training camp battle. He'll probably be that guy for a couple years that goes into camp and pushes a rookie as the guy that's been there. The Brian Hoyer of the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Is what
Hey, when you can get a gig like that, the money flows. You don't end up having to be in a lot of direct damage.
Hoyer,
you know what I mean?
He went to Vegas this year.
I know.
He went to Vegas and played with McDaniels.
They jumped him for O'Connell. They jumped him, but
correct.
Well, did you hear Zach Wilson? I think you might have said this. They dropped him to 3, not 2.
Yeah, he's not 2.
They dropped him all the way to 3.
Yeah.
That's why even put that out there? That's very insulting.
Yeah, it's I mean, they were going to
Robert
figure it out
Saleh
anyway.
does not like him as
Robert,
a person.
You're correct. You're right.
I mean, he's going to probably get him fired.
Saleh's a total defense guy, and he's just wanting this guy to go away.
Like on Hard Knocks, he's like, I'm so glad we have Aaron Rodgers and not that piece of shit again.
You could tell, like, in body language, when he talks to Zach Wilson, he's just like, I'm uncomfortable. You're annoying. Can you just go over there, please?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he takes a moment before he defends him in front of the media.
Oh, right, because you can tell he has to totally turn it on. He's like, I can't even be this man I can't do this and go home this way. I'm a dishonest person.
It's not a good situation what's going on in New York for those Jets or the Giants, to be completely honest with you.
The Jets fans are who I feel for. They were so hyped. Up until snap 5
snap 5. Yeah, snap 5 was it happened on 4 though. So
was it on 4?
First,
right, snap 5 is when Zach Wilson took it.
4 fun snaps.
3 fun snaps. And then Aaron laid down after snap 4, and they were like, "It's not nap time. It's not. No.
Hey, oldie, get up.
Peepaw. No. We got you out of the nursing home. It's not lights out. Come on."
Oh, shit.
Instead of the blue tent, they put him in a log cabin.
How terrible is it going to be when he comes back next season, also gets injured week 1?
Oh, man.
It's going to happen.
It's probably because he got vaccinated while he was out. I'm just kidding.
It might be that, but it might be the Jets are just coerced.
Justin, friend, there's a Jets fan, says that Joe Namath sold his soul and the Jets' soul to the devil for a Super Bowl. And looking at Joe Namath's career totals, that's probably true because he was not a good quarterback.
Oh, that's right.
Very bad. And I believe it.
He's got that 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. You like that?
He has more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah. I knew it was bad, but
he's actively worse. He is better at throwing to other people than his teammates.
Because he said a thing in the 60s,
he did,
and declared it when they were a dog. They were like a 2-touchdown dog or some shit, and they won that game. He can do like regional electronics company commercials for the rest of his life. He does. Show up. He does do those. He fucking does do those in the tri-state area.
But he was also really fun to see pop up on ESPN until Susie Colbert interviewed him while he was drunk and he hit on her.
He sexually harassed her pretty much. So
yeah,
you're right. He was fun.
He threw for 173 touchdowns, 220 interceptions.
Yup. That's good.
So
I don't-
good.
Dude, I don't even
So
think his
good.
win-loss record's good.
No, he was on the Jets.
Yeah. They had one glorious year before football was civilized.
No, he's 500, 60, 61, and 4
Yeah. Yep.
as a Jets quarterback. At the Rams, he went 2-2 for 1 year.
Oh, he was on the
my
Rams?
God. Yeah.
Oh my God.
apparently.
Not to tangent again, but I've not watched it yet. But the Prime documentary about Barry Sanders came out. I can't wait to watch it because he's going to talk about the retirement and what came out of it. One of the stories that got brought up is that Joe Montana wanted to play in Detroit. Instead of the year he went to the Chiefs, where they went to the AFC Championship and they lost,
Right.
he wanted to go play with Barry Sanders, and Detroit couldn't figure it out. They thought he was too old.
Fucked
Wait,
up.
who thought he was too old?
Detroit.
Obviously.
Detroit thought Montana was too old?
Correct. And at the time, declined. He wanted to go there. Barry was at peak powers. Barry was never not at peak powers. He was like
That's
always
true.
good. So he wanted to play with Barry. And Detroit fumbled that bag. It's like Joe went to them, and then he ended up at the Chiefs. They didn't win a Super Bowl, but he took the Chiefs to the championship.
No. And then Barry Sanders retired soon after that?
Correct. Now he did, but he says now he didn't know. That's not the reason.
Okay.
He did end up retiring. I don't know how soon. It was within a couple years. Because didn't Montana play till the mid-ish, late 90s?
I think so.
No.
I think
Mid.
so.
Mid
Mid.
at the most.
Okay, because Barry was in till 99, I think. No, 97. Don't quote me on that. He played 10 seasons, and I think he got drafted in 89.
I'm sure Pat's looking it up too.
Barry says he did not know, though. I want to be clear. Like, I didn't watch the doc, but he was on McAfee, and he said he didn't know that, but he thought it's a fun story. And then, of course, McAfee was like, how cool would have that been? And Barry was trying to hold... It would have been fucking sweet.
94 is Montana's last
Yeah.
season.
But so, oh my God, he would have had prime Barry.
Yeah. Prime Barry.
But again, to Barry's credit, those late years didn't go down. He was at like always 1,500 yards, always 10 tutties, like shit that just doesn't happen anymore. He also had a 2,000-yard season. Sorry.
Prime's docs are really good. I watched the Jason Kelce
I know.
one.
I
It
want to
was
watch
great.
that too.
It was great. I loved it. And I hate that I like Jason Kelce, but he's so likable.
He's
so
very
likable.
likable.
He's a sweetheart. His
podcast is good.
Yeah, I like New Heights. I like Travis more than I thought I would ever like Travis. Like him coming into the league, I was like, that dude's an asshole. You can tell by his face. And like maybe a little bit at the beginning, but he's definitely come full circle. And he's like, I'm a goober. Like his SNL was hilarious.
Yes,
the American Girl
very
Doll
good
Cafe
job.
was phenomenal.
Very good job on
It
that.
was awesome. But anyway, that is all that we have time for this week, guys. We're only doing one longie because I think this is how we're going to do it now. Breaking it up into multiple videos seems like it was kind of a waste of time, but whatever. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get back to it.
Fucking tell him.
We'll see. You guys have to weigh in and let us know. And if you don't, we're going to just keep doing it this way. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you to my co-hosts for hanging out with me, talking football. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you all back here next time.
Next time.